So we went through the hops bread, we did our homemade white bread loaf, and so today I'm showing you guys a delicious and nutritious everyday loaf to build into your recipe repertoire. Hello everyone, welcome back. It's a new day and I'm here to show you guys a new recipe, and it's one that I love and I hold dear to my heart. It is an oats and flaxseed bread. In my opinion, I prefer kind of like these nuttier, more heartier breads to the typical white loaf. I mean, everything has its time and place, but on an everyday level, I really enjoy a bread that has a little bit more nutrition packed into it, and with the extra fiber that we're gonna get from our rolled oats. And then we're also using our cuisine flax seeds here. It's packed with protein. So you're getting a more substantial bread, and it is so easy. And if this suits you, it's also vegan. So to start off, I have a little coffee grinder here, or a fine spice grinder, and I'm gonna add some of my rolled oats. So we're using rolled oats today, or old-fashioned oats. All right, so the button on my little coffee grinder broke, so I'm just gonna use this little spoon. We all do these things at home, so don't judge me. So I'm just gonna grind this till it's in a fine powder. There we go. So a lot of the times in the grocery or in different health stores, you might see other flours that already have like added flax, or they have added nutrients to them. A lot of the times, if you buy a spice grinder and you have all your oats kind of in like larger portions, you have your flax, you have all that stuff, you can grind it and then add it to your white flour. And today we're using the cuisine all-purpose flour, which I love, and it's also super affordable, and we can just add stuff in it to kind of just bring some more body to our usual AP flour. So I'm just gonna toss this in, and then I have some more. And I always like to have some oats on hand. I add it to my smoothies in the morning because I'm not like a huge oatmeal fan. But if I could sneak in some more fiber into anything, I definitely will. Now I'm gonna do the same thing using the cuisine brown flaxseed. And as well, I always have flax on hand in my fridge. Again, it has tons of protein, and all these things, you really need to try to, find alternative ways to get protein, not just with meats and fish and stuff, but these very, wholesome ways to sneak it in there. That right in there. So already we're looking a lot more wholesome, and this bread is definitely going to hold you for a bit longer. It has tons of fiber and protein in there, and flaxseed, like I said, is always in my fridge. I add that to smoothies. If I ever make oatmeal, I add it in. You can add it to pancakes. It really, to me, it doesn't even taste, it doesn't really have a taste. You just eat it and you know it's good for you, and you stay fuller for longer. So to this, I'm going to add some white sugar. I have a bit of salt. And then I have some dry instant yeast. I'll add that right in. Toss that up. And then right in front of me, I have a cup of warm water, and to that I'm going to add just 1/3 of a cup of olive oil, and I'm just going to add this right in and just kind of bring everything together. So I'm just gonna make sure all the dough gets a bit of liquid. The olive oil smells so good, and that is just gonna add even more flavor to this delicious dough. There we go. So I'm gonna clean off my fork, and then I'm gonna graduate to my clean hands and sort of just bring everything in. And you know it's bread, so we're gonna be kneading. So my dough has come together. I'm just going to throw a little bit of my cuisine all-purpose flour onto the surface and then put that right out there. And I'm gonna knead this for about 8 to 10 minutes until it has like a nice elasticity to it and it's nice and smooth on top. Alright, so I'm just about done kneading this dough. I've been kneading for about, I would say, 8 minutes. And just pushing it together so it's in a nice heap. Making a nice disc out of it. Voila. So I'm going to put some cuisine soybean oil, just a little bit, into a bowl. Take my paper towel and grease the whole bowl so that the dough doesn't stick. I'm placing this right in here. And I'm gonna cover this with a tea towel or plastic wrap and I'm gonna let it rise for about 45 minutes and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so it's been about 45 minutes and as you could see, our dough has doubled in size. So I'm just gonna remove the plastic wrap and I'm just simply going to punch down and like release the excess carbon dioxide that's built up from the yeast. And I'm just going to form this very gently into a loaf shape and place it into the pan. That's it. So my dough is formed into a nice log. It's pretty even throughout the whole dough. So now I'm just going to place it right into my loaf pan and then I'm going to cover it once more with my plastic wrap. Then I'm going to allow this to proof for about 20 minutes or so and then we're going to throw it in the oven. Okay, so our bread has been aside for about 15 minutes because honestly the kitchen in here is quite warm, so it may depend on the temperature in the kitchen that you're in, but it's risen just slightly over the edge of the pan and that's exactly what we want. So now just for a bit of garnish and flair, and to be honest I find this makes it look even more healthy, I'm just going to brush a little bit of water right on top of the loaf, just so. And then I'm just going to sprinkle some oats right on top. And the water is going to help it stick. There we go. When you see that, doesn't it make you feel like, you know what, this isn't just a sandwich, it's a little bit healthier. So I'm going to throw this in the oven that I have preheated at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm going to let this bake for about 25 to 30 minutes. And one step closer to slicing. So after about 45 minutes, the bread is totally done. And the oats on top are nice and toasted. And I let it actually cool in the loaf pan for another hour or so because you don't want to cut bread, as tempting as it is, you don't want to cut a loaf of bread as soon as it comes out of the oven because the steam and all the different reactions that have happened in the oven need to kind of settle. So now I've been so patient. I have my little butter and bread plate and butter knife, so I am prepared. So I'm just going to gently dislodge it from the loaf pan. It's still warm, but it's not like steaming hot. And there we go. So I'm just going to take my bread knife now and give it a nice cut. Oh, nice crust. Super delicious. And there we go. Gorgeous crumb texture. Nice crusty crust. Still warm inside. All you now is a little butter and a bite. What is better than warm homemade bread, especially when it has extra nutrients packed into it? All right. Cheers, you guys. You guys, what is more honest than bread? so delicious. The nuttiness is tremendous. If you're a fan of nice, nutty, more wholesome breads, definitely try this recipe. It's just as easy as making bread, you know, with white flour alone. It's just as easy as making a whole wheat loaf, but you get so much more flavor in there. And using the cuisine flaxseed, such an affordable price. Skip all the fancy health breads. This is a health bread right here in itself. Sorry. Special thanks to our friends at Cuisine for sponsoring this video. Cuisine products can be found at all Massey stores nationwide. And I'm about to slice up this bread and give out some to my family. I'm so excited. And it's always a pleasure having you guys in the kitchen with me, and I will see you next time. Bye.